Запрошую до слова пана Ігоря.
I would like to pass the floor to Igor Mazepa for the General Director of the Concorde Capital. Good day. Can I speak in Russian, I hope? Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much, Alexander, for this invitation. So my name is Igor Mazepa, and I am the head of Concorde Capital, one of the few investment banks that are still working in Ukraine, that went through all of this crisis. I think that I will go through some of the stories and get some of the consequences afterwards. So my driver, he has said very proudly that he has now switched to the winter tires, and he said that, by the way, when the winter will pass, we'll buy the new tires, and it will be of the low profile. And I said I will buy the low profile because the good news is that we're all got used to the good roads. So thank you very much by that. Thank you very much by most of those collisions and most of those holes are now the story of the past. On the other hand, another good farmer, a good friend of mine, he calls me and he said, like, by the way, I have invested into the cement plant, and I've said, like, I remember that you have buy the cement carriers. Can I borrow some of those, because we have the high season, and right now for you that there's a low season, and that the construction materials, the market is low. And I've said, like, yes, okay, I think that we can do that easily, but like, what's the reason? Why do you want to have that? You have always been well prepared and well effective manager. And he said, like, well, for some time already right now, and for me, in order to get to, we had the four that goes to there, but basically right now we have two roads goes in a month. So there is either because of the reconstruction of the roads, or sometimes that is also about the human factor and the very ineffective management, and the whole. We have lost the whole carriages because they cannot go further on. And those two stories, that the government is doing the good things for basically that are invested into infrastructure, they're doing the good thing. But on the other hand, something that is currently happening right now, and by the way, that's a record investment from the recent decades, and right now, when the markets of the capitals are opened, you have to go and take this money. So in this, the financial market is just the same as in the everyday businesses. You have to have the good balance between your own money and your borrowed money. When, for example, the markets give you the opportunity to take some loans, you have to take some loans up till some good limit, 30% equity, 30% equity, 20%, but you have to finance all of the other things with your borrowings, with your debts. So what I see, maybe that's not that much of acceptable for you, but for the state budgets, it would be much better, so that those countries that have been provided to the financial support of the infrastructure, they wouldn't have been used to support everything, but for them to be supported, basically the financial of the markets that you currently use for the markets. There have to be some borrowings that have to be the long-term loans, because the cycle of 7 years, I do not believe that it is enough for the Ukrainian economy, for the economy to be able to create this additional value for the infrastructure that has been built, and so that the government will be able to get it back to the loan providers. We have a very good benchmark, Ukraine, like 32 years and higher, and I do believe that even the private companies, they should and they can go to the market and attract the more loans the possible, the more loans the better. So basically in this discussion, I would like to get back to this issue, to this healthy balance between your own capital and the loans, the borrowed capital, because Concorde has been the advisor to restructure the borrowings for Ukrzaliznytsia as well, when the management of Ukrzaliznytsia wasn't able to calculate all of their good balances and they've got to default. So yes, every step of this default is not something that will add up to credibility for a country or for any sovereign companies. That's where basically all of our infrastructural documents that are loan providers, that are the companies connected to the government. So those are the theses that I wanted to add up to our discussion. Maybe there are some other moments that our colleagues can add up to that.